Absolutely incredible here at the Lions Stadium in Munich, and I have to tell you, both sets of supporters totally respectful of each other's national anthems. They're now clearing the pitch here. All those who took part in the opening ceremony are heading off. There was a large tarpaulin over the pitch, they're clearing that, and the players are now just giving handshakes to each other. Plenty of maskets on the park as well. My goodness, what an atmosphere inside this stadium this evening. Let's hope Steve Clarke and the boys can get us off to an absolute flyer and make the whole of this country, Germany, stand up and take notice. It's Germany against Scotland at the opening game of Euro 2024 with Leanne Crichton, Stephen Thompson and Liam McLeod.
Well, if Scotland can produce one of their most memorable and magnificent results this evening, it'll be the whole of Europe, perhaps even the rest of the world taking notice, and not just Germany, as Scotland prepare to kick off their 4th European Championship, having been there in 92, 96 and of course 3 years ago at the delayed Euro 2020 tournament. And in the Lions Den in Bavaria here, the wonderful city of Munich, playing host to the opening match of Euro 2024. Germany, the great Germany, against Scotland. The two captains down there with the referee, Andrew Robertson to the right, Ilkay Gundogan to the left, who's relatively recently replaced Manuel Neuer as the captain of the German national team. And they shake hands, exchange pennants, and the French referee Clément Turpin is just about ready to go as well. He's so experienced at the top level, took charge of the Champions League final in 2022, and he's got the honour of reffing the opening match of the European Championship. And Scotland looking to improve on their major tournament record. And if they win this one tonight, it would have to go down as their greatest ever major finals victory. It is one of the tallest of orders, though. The Germans normally, whilst they've had a few dodgy tournaments recently, they are normally in the business end of these, and they are one of the favourites to lift the trophy in a month's time in Berlin. A wonderful squad. Can Scotland attack this tournament? They've got Angus Gunn in goal, Porteous, Hendry and Tierney, Ralston and Robertson wide. McTominay's fit to start alongside the birthday boy McGregor, McGinn and Christie, with Shea Adams chosen to lead the line. The Germans, Neuer in goal, Kimmich, Tah, Rudiger, Mittelstadt, Andrich and Kroos, Musiala, Gundogan, Wirtz, and Havertz leads the line. Just about ready to go. The pitch is cleared. The countdown is on, and Germany, the 3-time winners of this competition, get the tournament underway, shooting right to left as we watch. And right behind Steve Clarke, the Germans in their famous colours, the white, the black and the orange. Scotland in all navy blue with white and yellow flashes. We'll go left to right as we watch. It's picked up in the midfield there, and the Germans have it with Andrich of Leverkusen, and now it's back to the left of the centre circle for Jonathan Tah, his Leverkusen teammate. Out to Mittelstadt on the near side, rolls it back to Toni Kroos, who's playing his final few matches of his illustrious career, one of the most decorated players in European football history, as he slips it back to Rudiger, who finds Tah, and then out to this left-hand side, it's Mittelstadt again. Scotland, it will be so important for Steve Clarke that his players settle quickly, that there are no nerves as that long ball comes through. There's no flag at the moment. It's an early chance, an early save by Angus Gunn. Wirtz was in. The flag does go up, ultimately over on the far side, but the oh so dangerous Florian Wirtz was in there. It was a long ball lifted over the top of the Scotland defence. Wirtz is lightning, controlled in the chest, dinked it towards goal. Gunn made the save in any case. Free kicks given for offside.
It's an early warning sign, that, Liam. What a pass it was from Rudiger and to Fritz. He took a bit of a heavy touch on his chest, and Angus Dunn did really well to close him down. Thankfully the flag did go up eventually. It was just about half a yard offside, but a very strong start from the Germans.
Wirtz scored his first international goal inside 7 seconds against France in the friendly in March. Wirtz has it again on the left-hand side. He's got the overlap from Musiala, who's onto it now. Nobody in dark blue out on this near side. Musiala into the box. Well challenged though by Porteous, who'll then win the throw-in of Wirtz over on this near side, and that'll settle Ryan Porteous' nerves pretty quickly, I would have thought.
Well, Liam, no doubt about it. Slightly dysfunctional in terms of the defensive set-up there from Scotland, but Porteous does really well. He gets back in just in that right-hand side, almost just to cover where Anthony Ralston would have been, but just to get that early tackle, it does certainly just calm the nerves, calms the fans as well.
It was absolutely a tackle he had to make as well.
Yes, it was.
A one-on-one situation.
Germany have started this game really quick.
Yeah, it's going to be really important that Scotland get through these early stages as McTominay gets his first real feel of the ball, comes off a German foot and out for a throw-in on this near side. Couple and a half minutes in to the game here in Munich. Throw-in for Porteous to take right in front of Julian Nagelsmann, the German national coach. Familiar surroundings here. He had a spell in charge of Bayern Munich. As Porteous pulls it down the line, flicked on by Adams. McGinn was on his way to ground. Still he gets a head onto it towards the German box. Rudiger clears. And then out in this near side, there's a foul by McGinn, and it will be a free kick to Germany. It's Mittelstadt who has gone down. I don't think McGinn was too impressed.
There wasn't much in it,
theatrics.
Liam. There wasn't much in it. He goes down awfully easily. He's obviously back up on his feet now.
The Germans have it over on the right-hand side. It's another long ball down that right flank this time, and it's Musiala attacking it. Tierney defending it. Tierney trying to win the goal kick, and he does, despite the German protests for a corner. What a magnificent noise the Scotland fans off to our left are making. I think there's 12,000. I heard that looks like more than 12,000 over on that left, and there's obviously smatterings of them inside this wonderful arena.
But yeah, it was another warning sign for us there. That's twice we've been caught out with the ball over the top. On this occasion it was Musiala who got in behind it. Tierney did really well to read the danger and get in and make the block.
Goal kick, Gunn takes, right-footed, long ball into the German half. Adams leaps up, doesn't get anything onto it. Andrich didn't get anything on it either, and it's nodded back to his goalkeeper by Rudiger. And picked up his latest Champions League winners' medal, part of the side that beat Dortmund in London a couple of weekends back. Here's Jonathan Tah, midway inside his own half here at walking pace. Adams there wearing the luminous pink boots with the white tops, comes over to try and make the challenge. Germany have it with Gundogan in the Scotland half, giving it away. It's unlike him, square ball into the midfield, picked up by Christie, who's earning his 50th cap this evening. Long ball controlled there in the head by Rudiger, just gets away from him. Adams putting the pressure on, knocks it out to the far side. Robertson gets his head onto it, driving down the left, wins the throw-in off Rudiger over on the far side. This is about level with the edge of the D of the German box. First time Scotland have been up the pitch with almost 5 in.
Andy Robertson does really well, just looking to drive his team forward. His initial first touch with his head was really good, and he just gets the break of the ball, but it's something that Scotland need just to get into this final third. Look to try and get bodies in and around it. As we've discussed, there's going to be a lot of time tonight that Scotland will be without the ball, but these are the kind of key moments that you need to try and create something, whether this leads to a corner or another throw-in or a shot at goal, whatever it might be. Just try and find that end product.
It's a long throw into the box from Tierney, looking for around about the penalty spot, headed away by Rudiger. Ralston heads it back towards the box. He caught one of the German players there. That's what the cry was. I think it was Havertz. Germany come away on the counter down the left-hand side. Mittelstadt looking for Wirtz. Well defended there by Jack Hendry. Just picked the ball back off the Germany winger, and it's a long ball clear out to the near side, which McGinn's done brilliantly to head back up the line for Ralston, who controls and passes it to Porteous, who finds McTominay, flicks it into the midfield for Callum McGregor, 31 years old today. Out to Robertson on the left. Tierney is up in support in the overlap. He slipped it through towards Christie. Bit too much on it though, and it comes right through to the 38-year-old now Manuel Neuer, who holds on. Germany 0, Scotland 0 in Munich.
It was our best spell. We've looked a wee bit rushed with the ball when we had it in the opening 5 minutes, but on that occasion there, 5-6 passes. It was actually nearly a brilliant pass down the left-hand side for the run of Christie, just slightly overhit. The pitch is very fast, it's been watered.
Tah for Germany, just left of the centre circle. He's in his own territory here as he rolls it square to the right of the circle for Rudiger, and then to Kroos. We'll be hoping to have more than 3 games left in his career. Germany, of course, this is their first competitive game since they beat Costa Rica 4-2 at the World Cup in Qatar 18 months ago. A whole load of friendlies since then. He started well. It's a chip ball forward to Gundogan. He's at the edge of the box in a pocket of space. Under pressure though now, and he gives it away to Robertson, who turns it up the line on the far side. Christie trying to win it back, brings his man down. The referee's okay with the challenge by the look of it though, and it goes out for a Germany throw-in only over on the German right on that far side as they attack the goal to our left. It's bowled back the way to Rudiger on the halfway line. Square ball to Kroos. Forward it comes to Havertz, back to Kroos, and then out to Mittelstadt on this near side. Right in front of this watching manager. Infield to Kroos, looks for the diagonal out to the far side. Long ball, good switch of play. Over to that far side for Kimmich, who plays his football here, of course, with Bayern. They've given it away in the midfield. Poor control there by Andrich. And it's shifted out to Ralston on the Scotland right. I think that's just gone over the line, though it has, and they've taken a quick throw in through Wirtz. Here's Mittelstadt, gets it from Havertz. And then Wirtz rolls it into the midfield for Andrich. Looking for a bit of space over on the right-hand side for Joshua Kimmich, who clips the ball in. Havertz gets his head onto it, back towards the 18-yard line, but it's hooked away by McTominay. Picked up here by Mittelstadt, infield for Kroos. He's playing it short to his right for Musiala, now back with Andrich. To Wirtz, rolls it back to Ta, not sure that was the pass he was intending. It's at Kroos now though. Right-footed low ball along the deck out to Mittelstadt, swings the ball in, left-footed to the back post area. Robertson took no chances, didn't know where Kimmich was, and he flicks it out for a throw-in over on the far side, level with the Scotland penalty spot. Ball back to Rudiger. Perfect conditions for the game, incidentally. It's been a relatively mild day, not much wind, the pitch is perfect. Of course, a really enclosed stadium anyway. There is, you couldn't ask for better conditions, I don't think. Pitch was watered beforehand. Is Kroos.
He's seen an awful lot of the ball, Liam, an awful lot of the ball.
It's out with Kimmich on the touchline on the far side. And Neil McCann in the podcast yesterday was quite happy, I think, for that to be the case, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, I mean, if he's playing in front of us, he's not hurting us, but we just need to be careful of the penetrative pass.
Scottish Football Podcast with you every day during the tournament. As Scotland look to make inroads. It's out on the right-hand side with Kimmich down the line. Chance here for Havertz to run into a bit of space. Tierney closes it down. He's level with the penalty spot. Rolls it back to Kimmich. Now Havertz again. Musiala at close quarters. Back to Havertz. Then to Kimmich. Back into the midfield for Andrich, who's played it short there to Ta, who finds Kroos. Rolls it forward to Wirtz. Here's Gundogan. There's Andrich. Ominous, the build-up. They've given it away. Just breaks down again on the 18-yard line. Fortunately, from a Scotland point of view, that's been the case so far for Germany. Still in the infancy of the game, of course. Almost on 10 minutes, it's 0-0.
When we get the ball back, or when we win it back, we're very quick to try and get it forward instantly.
Another ping ball by Kroos out to Kimmich on the right. Low ball, the edge of the area. Wirtz for the shot and the goal! Got a touch! But one of the men of the season in Germany has given the hosts the lead against Scotland. Gunn looks up to the sky and wonders what might have been. His touch wasn't enough. It kisses the post on its way in as it came across the bows of the Scotland number one. And it's Germany 1, Scotland 0. Steve Clarke's team behind.
Do you know what? It's too easy, Liam. And the thing is, we know tonight Scotland will be without the ball, but when you drop as deep as Scotland have managed to do, we spoke about the variety of passing as well. It comes initially from the long diag, which is fine. You offer that up at times, but it's simplicity from Germany. The pick out just at the edge of the box. Nobody's locked on. You've got so many bodies defending centrally, but you've got 4 or 5 bodies inside the penalty area already before the ball arrives. You don't give yourself a chance. Angus Gunn is really unlucky.
I think he's got to do better, Leanne. I do. I think Angus Gunn gets enough of a hand to it for me that he's got to get it away from the goal.
But for the bodies in front of him, my point is, nobody's picking up, nobody blocks the shot, and the goalkeeper's completely exposed.
It comes from a cross pass. We were just talking about his influence in the game. The switch ball's magnificent. The cut into the edge of the box. It's another really smart pass. But you're right, nobody was picking up Wirtz.
So Scotland behind. Yeah, that perhaps isn't a surprise given who they're up against tonight, given the optics, given where we are, the country we're in. But Steve Clarke will be frustrated by the nature of it. Wirtz, who You cannot give that kind of time and space to Florian Wirtz. He has set the Bundesliga alight this season. A big reason why Bayer Leverkusen went the whole campaign unbeaten domestically was because of him. He was involved in 38 goals this season. He scored or set them up. He is a constant danger, and we've seen that already in the early stages of this game, and it is he who has Nagelsmann's Germany in the box seat here, and it's the dream start for the host nation.
It is. I just think we need to get our foot on the ball and just take the sting out of the game. It's been a very strong start from Germany. We've only had one real kind of moment of possession where we kept the ball for 4 or 5 passes, but when we do have it, like now for instance, we're giving the ball away too easily, and it just allows Germany to go again at us. We need to show more composure on the ball.
Wirtz has it, just shifting it to Kimmich over there on the right-hand side. You just hoped from a Scotland point of view that they could get through the opening 20-25 minutes without conceding, weather the German storm that was coming their way. Not to be, sadly, as Rudiger goes long with the right foot, looking for Havertz, who's managed to get onto it ahead of Jack Hendry. Tierney manages to nick it off his Arsenal clubmate, though, and McTominay has it in the midfield, but ransacked immediately by Andrich. And it's going to be so important, just these next, again, 5-10 minutes, because this game could get away from Scotland pretty quickly.
Yeah, it could, Liam. But Tom, you've hit the nail on the head. It's the turnovers. You can accept being out of possession and having to be deep in these moments that we're seeing just now with the 5 and the 4 in front. But when you win the ball back, there has to be much more quality. There has to be much more bravery and belief, and just that real kind of bravery in the types of areas that Scotland are winning it back, because it is still in their own defensive third, but you need players to go and show.
Germany have it with Ta in the centre circle, rolls it to Kroos, low ball forward for Musiala, challenged by McTominay, who wins it back, but McGregor gives it away and out to the edge of the penalty area. Good challenge, Porteous. Musiala fancied his chances there as he bounded towards the 18-yard line. And Scotland have a man down, and it's Christie, and the free kick goes Scotland's way, just midway inside their own half and left to centre.
Yeah, Andrich and Christie just seem to run into each other. In fact, he sees him, he just body checks him. Just try to be a wee bit cute. Christie wins the free kick. Yeah, Leanne's right. Bravery's a key word here. When we have the ball, show the belief. We are good players. We've got players in the middle of the park that can keep the ball. They do it at club level every single week. We've just got to show more composure, ride out these next however many minutes until get a foothold in the game.
Yeah, as you would expect, Germany well on top in the possession, just over 75% at the moment. Scotland unable to get up the pitch really. They had one little flurry and a long throw from Tierney into the box, which the Germans dealt with pretty comfortably. Nagelsmann down there taking a swig of water from his bottle and returning to his dugout. That comes back to Hendry, now it's with Tierney. Steve Clarke, we didn't see much of him in the edge of the technical area in the friendly games that have just come and gone, but he's been out there pretty much the whole time, wearing the suit to the right of the fourth official as Hendry collects and rolls it low out to Tierney on the far side. Forward for Christie. It's it under control, passes it back onto the touchline for Robertson. Low ball up the line, Adams, he does well, but it's a really poor touch by Tierney. It looked a pretty lazy touch really, and Germany have it back immediately. And again, it's an example of what Stephen was talking about. Scotland so wasteful in possession, unforced errors, and you cannot give this quality of opponent that kind of encouragement too often. It's which is Kimmich on the far side, back to Rudiger and into the centre circle for Ta, and he slips it to Kroos to the left of the circle, and he has it now. He's finished his club career on the highest of highs, winning the Champions League, and he do the double with his national team. Kroos playing it forward, getting it back immediately from
You talk
Andrich.
about composure, Liam, and what we're not doing, and you look at Tony Kroos on the ball. The guy is unflustered. Nothing phases him at all. He'll take the ball under severe pressure and just keeps it every single time. I'd like to see us get closer to him, because he is dictating the game.
Yeah, proper legend. Retired from international football in 2021. Of course, he's one of the relics of the World Cup win in 2014. Started the final in Rio against Argentina. as that goes out of play for a throw-in over on the far side to Scotland, which Robertson is going to take. It's just inside his own half. Over on the far side, the other opening game in this group takes place tomorrow at 2 in Cologne. It's Hungary against Switzerland. We are going to cover that game tomorrow. There will be commentary of it. Hungary-Switzerland is a 2 o'clock kickoff in the UK. As that long ball comes up towards the halfway line, Ta pushing it forward to Kroos. Just outside the centre circle, forward to Wirtz, loses out to Tierney, did well. And again, McGregor can't control. Germany have it back again. And it's with Gundogan. Now with Barcelona. And a terrific career at Manchester City. And winning the Champions League as well as a parting gift. He comes back all the way to Manuel Neuer. Another of the 2014 alumni. As Rudiger gets it and finds Ta. Adams, who's barely had a sniff, trying to get some pressure on the German defenders there. It's back with Ta. And then he plays it short out to the right-hand side for Kimmich. The festival of football is underway in Germany, but 18 minutes in, the Germans lead Scotland by 1-0. Scored by Florian Wirtz, and there's another long ball forward to Wirtz. Gunn commits himself, comes out of his box and gets there first and puts it up high into the air, and it drops down on the far side and out for a German throw-in.
Really good goalkeeping from Angus Gunn there. It was a really dangerous pass over the top again, and he was out like a lightning to clear it. He had to be, because I fancied Wirtz would have been there first in the foot race.
You almost feel, just looking at this first 18-19 minutes, it's a shock to the system for Scotland. They just look really tired in terms of their mental focus when they win the ball back.
Yeah, and Gundogan has stolen a march, and McGregor, he slipped it through to Havertz. Chance here on the edge of the 6-yard box, rolls it back, and a chance for Musiala, who rifles it home into the roof of the net with the right foot. And Bayern Munich's Jamal Musiala has plunged Scotland into a state of depression here. Their big night in Munich is going horribly wrong against the hosts, and Musiala doubles the lead, and it's Germany 2, Scotland 0. Oh dear, oh dear.
Top quality goal again from Germany. We can defend the situation so much better, but the pass from Gundogan into Havertz was absolutely magnificent. I think he should hit it. He doesn't. He chops back. You think the chance is gone. He lays it into Musiala's path, who then takes another touch himself. You think the chance is possibly gone, and then the finish is absolutely magnificent. High into the top corner. Gunn, no chance.
It's brilliant. You're up against top quality. We'd mentioned it earlier on. We know that this Germany side have not been firing in all cylinders, certainly, but the quality in terms of the individuals and the moments of just brilliance in front of goal. But what they force Scotland to do is they're so dysfunctional, Scotland, out of possession, because Germany are moving the ball with such efficiency. So then Scotland have dropped so deep there, and again they're behind the ball, but Musiala just finds an area of space, and his footwork's so good, the space just opens up. But Scotland are absolutely rocked, and you can see Steve Clarke down in the touchline just trying to get the message onto the players just to calm down for the next 5-10 minutes. Can you try and stay in the game? But it's really tough out there. Germany have started this game immensely well, though.
Long ball down the right for Adams to chase. Ta, though, is there. He chaperones it behind for the goal kick. Let's get Willie Miller's thoughts. It's obviously not the start Steve Clarke was wanting, Willie.
No, all that optimism, I think, is drained, certainly out of me, and I'm sure the nation. We're getting a lesson, to be perfectly honest. Germany are controlling every part of this game. Defensively, we're all over the place. I don't think we're getting close enough. Toni Kroos is just cruising down that midfield, and as young Stephen said, someone's got to get close to him. We've had a lesson so far, and Steve Clarke will be well worried about how this could end up if we don't get a little bit more cohesion, particularly defensively, and try to close the ball down a little bit better than what we're doing. In fact, much better than what we're doing.
Yeah, and while Willie was talking there, Havertz was almost in again.
The difficulty now, Liam, is that you've started with this game plan, that you've got the 5, the 4 and the 1. It's a shift for McGinn and Christie to working outside ones of the midfield. but now you can't really, flip the coin and go in a high press and look to try and get at Germany, because you're 2-0 down. The game opens up, Germany going absolutely punish you.
Well, the thing is, Germany are finding space and they're finding time with their movement off the ball is exceptional. If we then come out and try and get obviously back into this game, which we'll have to do at one stage, if they're finding that space with a 5 and a 4 there, if we try and promote more men forward, you can see only one outcome really.
And Scotland need to be careful, because any thoughts and hopes of progression through this section on 3 points could be obliterated tonight by a scoreline that goes anywhere near north of this. 2-0 defeat here, you've still got that chance of going through to the next stage with 3 points. But if you lose 3, 4, 5, you can forget that. You're going to need to get to 4 at least. 4 should do it, as Ralston has fouled a Mittelstadt on this near side, level with his own 18-yard line. A quarter of the game has gone, and Scotland are chasing shadows out there.
They are. I mean, we spoke about Germany and obviously the quality that they have with it be their home nation opening the tournament. They have attacked this game with a kind of a real energy that we have lacked. We have lacked the energy. They've completely swamped us. We look lost.
It's the 4th time they've hosted a major tournament. They've got to at least the semis in the other 3, winning in 74. As McGinn finds Tierney. Can Scotland make some kind of impression on this game? Tierney coming down the left-hand side, looks up at the German box, crosses in, it's cleared by Ta. Havertz shields it for Gundogan. McGregor slides in, brings down the German captain, right in front of referee Turpin, and that will be a free kick to the hosts just inside the centre circle in their own half.
There's no question, Callum McGregor, he gets it all wrong, but I think he understands the turnover and how quickly Germany can go and punish you, so it was a challenge that he probably had to make.
This tournament could see a record number of yellow cards, maybe red cards as well. The referees are clamping down big time in this tournament. As Mittelstadt comes down the left, Ralston with a challenge, but doesn't really get the ball. Mittelstadt has it, plays it back to the edge of the box. Musiala's on it again, down he goes, inside the box. Scotland clear, penalty's given.
Seriously.
German penalty. The Scotland players, well, they need to be careful. It's only the captain that's allowed to now speak to the referee. Musiala, the challenge I think started outside the box. He went down inside, and Scotland could be about to face a penalty kick here, already 2-0 down.
I'm not sure if Tierney brings him down.
No, I'm not convinced.
I think he stands on
What
Tierney's.
about Christie?
It looks.
I feel like he almost clips his own feet as well.
Is it a combination
he takes
of both?
The first touch
Christie?
with his right.
Well, Christie certainly falls on the back of Musiala's right leg.
I think it's Stein not turning that over.
I think there's too much in it in terms of the contact and who's made the contact. He's in control of the ball, so.
Oh, it's getting checked just now.
Oh, Ryan Christie hoping for a reprieve here, but the way that tonight has gone so far, you don't fancy his chances.
You have to say the first touch from Musiala before he went on that run into the box was absolutely sensational.
They're checking to see if it's inside or outside. That's the debate.
Yeah, and I think it's actually Kieran Tierney that comes through just there, looking at it again. But if you ever needed anything to take the wind out of your sails at 2-0, it's certainly the prospect of a third goal.
If this is given and this goes in, you do start to worry a wee bit.
I think everyone of a Scottish persuasion is already worrying, and the penalty stands. It survives the VAR check.
No.
Free kick.
Oh no, he's given a free kick. No penalty, yeah, free kick. Well, there you go, it is a reprieve. It's outside, it's been adjudged. So no penalty, free kick.
Mind you,
there's a sigh of relief, but it's still a chance.
Tony Cross from here. You know, he's a specialist at this. It is very close to the edge of the box. He's going to do well to get it up and down and over the wall. But he's got the ability, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is still a massive opportunity. I mean, they always say when free kicks are in this position, it's almost too close to the goal. 26 in, Germany 2, Scotland 0. Will Angus Gunn have to come up with a big moment here, even though Germany were denied the penalty kick and it's still a free kick, and it is also tantalising for that all-star cast that stands over it. Kimmich, Gundogan, Havertz, Wirtz, some of the best footballers in Europe are eyeing up this free kick, which is bang on the 18-yard line, almost dead centre, slightly to the right. Angus Gunn trying to sort his wall out. There are 4 Germans in front of it, making a nuisance of themselves. Here it comes then. The referee's just about ready. Which one of these talented German players is going to hit this? Kroos gets it from Gundogan. The low effort at goal's deflected, and Gunn holds on. Havertz with a shot in the end, and it stays Germany 2, Scotland 0. But my goodness, that was a nervy couple of minutes for the Scots.
Yeah, but it's a huge sigh of relief, and hopefully the Scotland players can take a wee bit from it, because I think at the point you feel that penalty's been awarded, and the prospect, as I said, going three behind, only 27 minutes on the clock, could have been dreadful. But that might just give them a bit of energy and a wee bit of belief just now that they can at least weather the storm until half-time. Things might change when Steve Clarke gets them in at half-time and how he approaches the game, but it's really difficult to make any in-game changes just now when it's backs to the wall as it's been.
Yeah, Scotland have been through the ringer in the opening few rounds. Germany looking for the knockout blow. It doesn't come in that particular moment. Scotland have the ball in the German half, the first time in what feels like a long time. And Andy Robertson with the throw. 2-0 Germany. It's Bolden field to McTominay. And off injured in the FA Cup final, which he won with Manchester United. We haven't seen him since, as he gives it away, looking for Robertson down the line. And that's lovely footwork by Musiala. He dances away from 3, almost 4 Scotland players, and he's been fouled by McGregor. And that's going to be a Germany free kick over there. I mean, these are magnificent players in Scotland jerseys tonight, but they are being made to look like they're playing several rungs below the Germans.
Musiala's been incredibly impressive so far in this game. His feet are unbelievable, his technical ability is just off the chart. He's quick, he can clearly finish as well. Full package.
Kimmich controls in the right, slips a low ball into the Scotland box, right of the 6. It's with Gundogan, forced outside the area, passing it back to Kimmich, and he plays it short to Rudiger. Kimmich and Rudiger exchange passes. It's back out with Kimmich over on that far side, rolls it infield to Gundogan. Now it's with Kroos, touches it back to Ta, to Rudiger on the far side, and Jonathan Ta has it here. That's the confirmation of the VAR call there. Penalty cancelled. Foul was committed by Scotland's number 11, Ryan Christie, outside the penalty area. So they weren't even looking at Tierney's involvement. It was all about the Christie challenge. And it's with Kroos, almost bang in the centre spot. Finds Andrich, now with Kroos. Shifts it out to the right-hand side for Kimmich. Bang on the half hour here. The Germans leading by 2-0. Rudiger slips it forward, low ball, straight to Jack Hendry, and Andrich has brought McTominay crashing to the ground, and the yellow card's coming out here for the Germany midfielder. He's protesting, but again, as I said, these kind of fouls will not pass by referees now. If you come close to endangering an opponent, you're going to get a yellow card.
His boot's slightly raised. I do think he gets the ball right enough. But you're right, Liam, there's going to be zero tolerance for any kind of...
It was made perfectly clear at the briefing yesterday in this stadium that even if you get the ball, it's not enough.
Yeah.
That is not enough. The biggest thing is mobbing the referee. That's the thing that will be punished immediately. Simulation. If you ask for an opponent to be booked, and we see players from some countries do that, that will also now result in a yellow card. Long ball for Scotland up towards the 18-yard line, but Mittelstadt takes over as Christie tried to get onto it, and it's headed back to Neuer, who could have set up a hammock between his sticks. So far, so underworked he has been, as Kroos plays it up the line on this near side for Mittelstadt. Back to Ta, and he squares it to Rudiger. Just wonder what's going through the mind of Steve Clarke. Does he think, could we just get to half-time? I can maybe tweak one or two things, speak to them. The problem is Germany look like scoring every time they come forward. And it's Wirtz on the ball on the near side. It's a little chip diagonal ball into the area. It comes off Jack Henry's head. The referee sounds his whistle. It's been knocked home. The German fans up the other end celebrate, but that won't count.
I think it was a Havertz handball. He goes to control it in his chest. We'll get a look at it now in this replay, but I think he does use his
I think it was
left arm. Yeah,
pretty clear.
Yeah, handball.
But you're right, Liam, you do just wonder what's going through the mind of Steve Clarke, because it's a tricky time, as I said, to make a change in game. But something has to change, because even just a moment or so ago, Ryan Porteous plays a long ball up to Ryan Christie. That is not the way that Scotland are going to get back in this game, is sending a searching ball for Ryan Christie. You talk about key players, the German players that we spoke about, Tony Kroos, his involvement, Wirtz, his involvement, Musiala, his involvement already. Scotland's key players, John McGinn, you barely know he was on the pitch.
Yep.
You know, how much do we speak about John McGinn? Scott McTominay, little involvement. We need to find out a route back into the game, whether that's just gaining territory and getting higher up the pitch, or you change the approach and look to go a bit more direct with players that you can actually go and use as a target player.
And Germany played all 3 of their matches at the last European Championship in this stadium. They return here for the opening night. A long ball from Rudiger. Havertz gives chase. Tierney was sticking with him. It bounces right through to Gunn. And it's played short here to Hendry. Short ball to Porteous. He goes back to his keeper. Gunn launching it forward, but it's not a great ball. Dumped into the midfield. Andrich onto it. Now it's with Rudiger in the centre circle. Low ball to his right for Kimmich. And now picked up by Andrich, wearing the orange boots. Just playing it short to Ta, who finds Rudiger. 2-0 Germany. Less than 12 minutes of the 45 in the opening night of Euro 2024. And dusk has fallen here in southern Germany as Kroos picks up, just trying to get away from Christie. Down he goes, free kick's given. Christie thought about complaining. It's already near seeing a couple of players, their first reaction is to wag the finger, point at the referee and have a go, and you see them checking. You see them doing it. It's going to take a bit of getting used to that.
We really aren't pressing. I mean, I know we're not doing a high press, but when the ball goes into even the midfield, it's passive as anything.
At times you're lucky if there's 10 yards between the back line and the midfield in front. The midfield need to try and get even 3-4 yards higher up the pitch, try and get closer to Tony Kroos, as we've mentioned.
They're going to have to be careful here, because one of the biggest night of their lives could pass them by if they're not careful.
Absolutely. You know, and looking at the type of game now though, and I know we've spoken about personnel and what could Steve Clarke do to change it, but for me, Billy Gilmour's maybe the type of player that could influence, essentially just in terms of being that player similar to a Tony Kroos that will take the ball in tight areas. Yeah,
there's Kimmich, finds Musiala, who scored the second. It's now with Kimmich again, chip ball in, looking for Gundogan, headed away by Hendry. And McTominay, it's a good little spin at the edge of his box under pressure, and he pokes it out to Ralston on this near side. Ralston into the midfield for his club mate McGregor. Now it's with McGinn, better from Scotland. Rolled out to Robertson. They need the next goal. They're going to make a fist of this. It's a long ball by McGinn, looking for Adams. Adams trying to get away from Mittelstadt, out to the right hand side of the box. The ball comes, Mittelstadt knocks it off Ralston, and out for a German throw-in on this near side. 10 to the break, Germany 2, Scotland 0. Wirtz on 10, Musiala on 19. It could have been worse if that penalty stood.
It was just nice to see us there in that last phase of play actually promote me further up the pitch. We have about 5 or 6 players pushing towards to try and get into the Germany's final third. Just not doing it enough. We're not asking them a single question defensively.
And they were very, very complimentary about Scotland in their media activities during the week in the build-up to this. And Scotland players haven't shown at all what they're capable of. And it's back with Angus Gunn at the edge of his box. He's not under any kind of pressure, just rolls it short to Hendry. And he's got Porteous out on this near side. You don't want to be defeatist, but is there a case to say that Steve Clarke would sign up for a 2-0 defeat right now? I mean, that does sound defeatist given how much of the match is left to play, but this is only going one direction, that scoreboard right now.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, you know, because we've mentioned how damaging it could be if you concede any more than 2-3. if you're looking seriously to try and get out the group. And I just think for confidence as well in the first game, you don't want to take a heavy defeat. You don't want players to feel demoralised getting into game 2. You want them to feel like they've at least put in a performance that they can be proud of, even if you lose the game. If we can get to half time, I've got no doubt that Steve Clarke will view it differently and just give everybody a chance to take stock, just get a breather. It's been a tough start to the tournament.
Over the last couple of years, Germany have been beaten 5 times on home soil. One of those occasions was with fellow group rivals Hungary, who won here, as did Belgium, Colombia, Japan and Turkey. Ukraine managed a couple of draws in that time as well, including in that recent friendly match as Adams goes down, fouled by Ta. Free kick Scotland, and this is about level with the edge of the centre circle in the Germany half.
We need to make the most of these situations. This has to go into their box, ask them to defend it.
Callum McGregor is leaving the free kick for McTominay. Ralston's there too. I think given the paucity of attacking moments that they've had, they need to get the big men into the box and just try and stick this on a Scottish head somehow.
John McGinn is standing in the goal.
He's behind Noy
This
on
is
the goal
something
line.
new. And Austin McPhee special coming up.
Well, Austin McPhee's down there on the edge of the technical area. McTominay is over it. Of course, he works with McGinn at club level too.
I think it's an Aston Villa special.
Yeah, McTominay flights it high to the left-hand side of the box. Porteous gets his head onto it, but only to the benefit of Ilkay Gundogan, who comes away with it. And he dinks it forward. A bouncing ball awkward for Ralston, facing his own goal. Stabs it back the way to Robertson. Plays it short to Gunn with Wirtz in close attendance, and he gets it away first time. So we didn't see the fruits of John McGinn standing inside the goal frame there, as Tierney tries to knock it up the line for Christie. Comes off Kimmich, but it breaks Christie's way down with the corner flag. Christie's on the ground at the moment. Rudiger for company. He's done well when he knocks it back off Kimmich, and the German number 6 clears up the line. McGregor gets onto it, but he can only pass it out for a throw-in to the Germans on the far side. Almost 39 on the clock, 2-0 to the hosts.
I mean, if there's a positive to be taken, it's the fact that Scotland really haven't started at all. They've not put any sort of quality together in possession, so you would hope that come the second half, if the scoreline remains as is heading in at half time, that they can look to just try and influence the game a bit more. But set pieces, as we've just seen, are so important, and it's come to nothing. And if anything, it feeds into the hands of Germany, with then play in the transition, because it literally, there's zero end product from it.
It's with Antonio Rudiger over on the far side. Slips it to the left of the centre circle for Ta. Out to Mittelstadt on the left. McTominay for company. He's got Wirtz to the left-hand side touchline. That's where it goes. Wirtz has it. Now level with the penalty spot. Jinks on to the right, just inside the area. Rolls it short to Gundogan. Scotland cannot afford to concede again. Rudiger has it. He's gone for goal. Spectacular effort from the centre-back, but it's a comfortable hold for Angus Gunn. There are 4 more capable in front of goal Germans in front of Antonio Rudiger, who are a bit annoyed, a bit peeved.
It was a strange
decision.
decision.
Have a go, but if you play for Real Madrid, you
I suppose you can have a pop, can't you? Yep. But yeah, that's the wrong choice.
Sports Sound here on BBC Radio Scotland. One of the biggest international matches in living memory here. Scotland opening a tournament as they did in France in '98, where there's no real shoots of positivity here, unlike on that occasion. Wirtz has it now in the left-hand side of the area, taking on Porteous. He's just standing there, teasing and tormenting and knocking it back to Musiala. Now Mittelstadt to Wirtz. Mittelstadt and Musiala again. And they weave their way through. It's back with Jonathan Ta. Short ball with the right insole there to Musiala, out to the touchline. Mittelstadt and Wirtz, and then Musiala back to Ta. Into his own half for Kroos. He finds Ta on this near side. They're just making this look so effortless. Kroos finds Andrich. And then Tony Kroos, right-footed, switches it back out to the left for Musiala. Scotland being tormented by the German number 10, and here he goes, dancing his way through. Finds Gundogan, out to Kimmich on the right-hand side. Delicate ball in, the header, the save on the rebound. Gundogan can't get there, he goes down. Kroos shoots, it's blocked, and behind it goes for a corner. But Gundogan's down, and I think he feels he was fouled there inside the box. Porteous was the Scotland defender.
Porteous flew into a challenge. It was a block to try and stop the shot. It's brilliant play again by Germany initially. The wee dinked ball in, Gundogan with a header. Angus Gunn puts it back out into a very dangerous area. And to be fair to Porteous, he has to make that tackle. He has to throw himself at it. I don't know whether or not he's caught Gundogan. We'll see it now in the replay. Oh, it's a horrendous tackle.
He's gone. He's going to get
a red card.
Penalty and red card.
Yeah.
100% red card here.
And it's the reason why I think Ryan Porteous has stayed down, because he's got it all wrong.
It is a
Like the guy spoke
tackle.
about it earlier on in terms of the emotion and getting caught up in it.
Oh, scissor.
no.
It's studs and scissors.
Horrible.
By the way, is it a pen as well?
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
Pen and man down.
Checking potential penalty, potential foul.
You know what? We didn't see it when the replay rolls in. You think to yourself, right, he's got to go and try and win this ball. But he lands completely two-footed on Gundogan's ankle. Gundogan will be doing well to get up from this, by the way.
It's a really poor challenge.
Willie Miller.
Oh, without doubt. I mean, you know, Ryan Porteous, I mentioned it before, I thought he should have been in, but he has these moments where they're really rash, and that's as rash as it possibly could be. It's a scissor kick, it's over the top, it's a stud into Gundogan's ankle, and if he doesn't get a red card and a penalty, then there is no point in having VAR, I'm afraid to say.
I think Willie's spot on. It just looked initially, and it is the reason why you have VAR, because
He's coming to the screen, coming to the monitor, and it's game over for Porteous here.
could be tournament over for him, Tomo.
Aye. I mean,
He's let himself
he's
down
no
there.
excuse.
Yeah.
You know, there's no excuse. I get that he's got to throw himself at it. I can see why he goes into the challenge, but he mistimes it so badly.
He knows his fate.
He doesn't need to get into the challenge though, the way that he does. You know, you can go and look to
I know what
block
you mean.
that
I know
without
what you mean.
We're
just
seeing it again here.
outstretch with the right leg and just try and block it with the outside of the boot.
The quickest of looks. And he
Penalty.
points to the spot. Does Clement Turpin. Germany have a penalty, and it looks like it's going to get a whole lot worse here for Porteous personally and for Scotland collectively. Back pocket goes Clement Turpin. He summons Ryan Porteous towards him. Delves into the pocket, out comes the red card. Scotland are down to 10. Germany have a penalty with a chance to make it 3. And it's going to be the longest of walks for Ryan Porteous.
I mean, the referee didn't need a lot of time to look at it.
No.
And once we saw one replay, we knew instantly he was gone.
He looked at one
It's a
replay and
horrible
he made his
challenge.
mind up
It's
as
a
well.
horrible
Terrible challenge.
Listen, it happens. You get it wrong at times. He had nothing in terms. He had to make a challenge, but he gets it so wrong in terms of the contact, endangering the opponent, the point of contact, everything that we spoke about for the entire season about what justifies a red card or not. But what a horrible situation for Scotland.
It couldn't really have gone much worse than it's going. Edging towards half-time, Ryan Porteous becomes the 22nd Scotland international to be sent off, the first since John Souttar was ordered off in Israel in October 2018. And on one of the biggest of nights, Scotland are going to bring Grant Hanley on shortly, but I think the penalty is going to be taken first, and Kai Havertz is over it. There's one look up at the Tartan Army, who are piled in behind Angus Gunn's goal there. We're in stoppage time now at the end of the first half, and Kai Havertz has a chance to make it 3 and switch out the Scotland light, you think, tonight. The big number 7 waits for the referee. The Scotland fans doing their best to try and put Havertz off. He scored 16 times for his country. Is this to be number 17? Kai Havertz made to wait a while. Here he goes, left-footed, and scores! Almost down the middle there. Gunn dived to his left, but Kai Havertz scores, and the Scotland fans who came here for a party are watching the Germans have a party of their own on the opening night of their own tournament. It is a mauling in Munich, and 10-man Scotland now stare into the abyss. It is Germany 3, Scotland 0, and it ain't even half-time.
Horrendous. I mean, there's no question it was a penalty kick. It's expertly taken by Havertz. He looks and waits for Gunn to make his movement, sees where Gunn goes, has a wee stop, and then just puts it into the middle of the goal. composed class from a top player. But you know, you've got to say, from Ryan Porteous' point of view, what is he doing? We're already 2-0 down. It's hard enough as it is. This is now just mission impossible, and it's about, you're right, Liam, it's about hanging in and trying not to lose by 5 here.
Yeah, that's bleak looking.
That's
really
the record scoreline, by the way. The record margin of defeat in this European Championship is 5 goals. There's been a handful of 5-0s and a 6-1. In Scotland, well, the supporters must be fearing the worst here. This is already going horribly wrong for Steve Clarke. But this could end up being a real night of ignominy now.
It could be, and it's tough because Ryan Porteous, he's left the field, but you just feel now for the players that are out there, because, as I mentioned, even at 2-0, it's hard to change the game. It's hard to look to find a solution, because Germany, to be fair to them, they've been bang at it. They've moved the ball really well. They've got at Scotland, they've forced them into their own defensive third at times, really pinned them back in. Scotland have been unable to get out in terms of the game plan and the way they've looked at approaching things. Then you lose the third goal, you then lose that player, you get down to 10. You know it's a long night, and Germany will just smell blood here, because for them, they've probably been waiting for a day that they can give these fans something at the opening game of this tournament, and it could not be going any better for them.
Scotland have the ball in the German half. Robertson's cross headed away. 3 minutes were added. We're almost at the end of those. Grant Hanley was being readied. Steve Clarke has checked himself, and he's going to wait until half-time. There'll be a certain change. It's a back four at the moment. 4-4-1 essentially. And it's going to be a free kick to Scotland over on the left, so they might get a chance to try and pull something back here before the break.
Johnston is standing in the goal again.
And he's just leaving it now. Robertson's going to take it, left-footed, in it comes. It's headed away, breaks to Ralston, rolls it to McGregor. The edge of the box, the referee's going to blow for half-time because McGregor passed it back there. Well, this is exactly the start the locals wanted to their tournament. They've ragdolled Scotland all night so far. Florian Wirtz giving them the lead on 10 minutes. It was so easy as he flicked it home from the edge of the box, despite the best efforts of Gunn. 9 minutes later, it was Musiala who fired home a wonderful finish into the roof of the net with the right foot. Scotland survived a penalty check. Ryan Christie with a foul at the edge of the penalty area. Was deemed to be a free kick, which they couldn't make the most of. But then Ryan Porteous, with an absolute moment of madness, he's let his team down, his country down. Sent off with the chopping challenge on Ilkay Gundogan in the box. It wasn't originally given as a penalty. Eventually, after the check by the ref, it was. Sent Porteous off, and Havertz duly dispatched the spot kick. And the Tartan Army, well, they're going to be drowning their sorrows in Marienplatz tonight. I can assure you of that. They've just got to hope it doesn't get much worse, because their team have looked like a rabbit in the headlights all first half long. And at half-time here in the Allianz Arena in Munich, it is Germany 3, 10-man Scotland 0.
Germany versus Scotland. Sports Sound, live from Munich.
That is massive!
Bringing UEFA Euro 2024 home.
Listen on BBC Radio Scotland and Sounds.
My goodness, Scotland are getting a football education here in the Allianz Arena in Munich. The opening game of Euro 2024, and it has been an absolute disaster for Steve Clarke and his players, in particular Ryan Porteous. Neil McCann is sitting alongside me here. Neil, I've written down so many notes here. I've seen you do the same. The most simple way I can put it is, this looks like two teams that are on totally different levels.
Right now. We said about how Scotland would play, and we were spot on. It's a 5-4-1 out of possession, deep, offering up wide areas. Now, there's so much to paint on the back of that. If you're offering up wide areas, then you still have to engage at some point, but it has to be done in a structured way. How Germany are playing, Muliase on the other side, Musiala. Where did I produce that one from?
Musiala.
Musiala and Wirtz on the other side. They're coming inside the pitch. Gundogan, who is one of the biggest instigators of the problems for us in this match, is sitting in behind Callum McGregor and Scott McTominay and causing problems. So for me, then that says to the German fullbacks, they're the outball. Tomo was speaking about it in commentary, talking about Tony Kroos just hitting diagonals into those areas. I'm okay with that, but at some stage your team then need to shift across and go and engage. So if Andy Robertson steps out there, say it goes out to the right back area, he steps out, what's happening is Musiala's coming inside, he must be engaged. Now if he drops into a deeper position, Callum McGregor can get him, but if he drops in behind Callum McGregor, then Kieran Tierney must step onto him, and it's a mirrored image on the other side. And what's happening is that's not happening. Anthony Ralston and Andy Robertson are dropping to a flat back five, and we're not combating that, because what happens is it's either John McGinn trying to get out that wide area, which means we're a mano under in the middle of the pitch.
Right.
Now I know I'm throwing loads of tactics.
No, but I like this, and the listeners will like this.
But I see it really, really clearly that all it needs to be done is that if it's going to the fullback, Anthony Ralston must. When Tony Kroos has got it in the middle of the pitch, Kenny, what happened is Anthony Ralston is marking no one, because Wirtz is starting in an outside position but walking in, and then walking in and onto a Porteous who's now gone. But what should happen is Ralston or Robertson just need to threaten a little bit, step up 3 or 4 yards. Now that pass then becomes under pressure, and they might not hit that pass. They'll then try to penetrate, but that's where our 4 midfielders are staged. McTominay and McGregor centrally, and McGinn and Christie just ahead in a little arc. But too many times, and I'll tell you what happens, McTominay is ahead of the game. He can't be ahead of the game and leaving Gundogan in behind. He's ahead of the game, the ball goes into that area, bang, we're 1-0 down. What happens in the second one is McGregor tries to bite onto Gundogan. He's a superb player, by the way. He rolls him.
Yeah.
He's there and then behind. We're in bother. Superb feet, great finish. We're 2-0 down. And then Willie and I discussed it. Ryan Porteous, he's too emotional. It was my biggest fear tonight once I saw him on the pitch. I understand that he gets ahead of Hanley because maybe Hanley just didn't show enough in the Finland game. But he's so over emotional. He's so rash. That is a leg breaker. Every day of the week, that is a leg breaker, a red card and a penalty, and he's absolutely killed us. Now, I know I'm saying he's killed us. The game's gone at 3-0, but structurally, Germany were pulling us apart, Kenny. They're such a good team. Tony Kroos, I'm not bothered with him dictating the play for deeper areas, but it's what he does in the pass and the transition once the pass is in play, how we moved, and we were pulled to bits.
That was a horrific challenge by Ryan Porteous.
Terrible.
You've got to call it as it is. It's actually quite a difficult one to watch again, isn't it?
It's horrible, and it could have been really bad. But what I would need to say, having watched it back as well, Angus Gunn tonight hasn't painted himself in glory, by the way. The first goal, Tomo had a pop in terms of being a stronger hand.
He's got to do better for me.
And then in the third one, Ryan Porteous is put in an area that he has to make a challenge, and I've said he gets the challenge completely wrong, and it's an absolute shocker. It's undoubtedly a red card, but the goalkeeper's not helped him out one bit by putting it right back into the danger area.
Do you not think, the Porteous, what he should be doing is trying to make himself big there.
Big.
He's got to try and be a block rather than a tackle.
Just go with one leg, Willie, and just try and get something in front of the ball.
You're not going to win that ball. You're not going to win it by a tackle. You've got to try and block it. I mean, what he's actually done is he's combined that scissor challenge with an over-the-top into the ankle. It's shocker. Horrendous. I'm watching it again. I mean,
me too, Willie. It's a shocker.
It actually makes you feel a bit sick. Gundogan's really lucky because Gundogan's studs are in the ground, and he's fortunate that his studs actually bounce up when the tackle goes in to his ankle. Otherwise, that's a snap. It's horrible. It's a horrible challenge. And what he should be doing is just trying to block the ball rather than trying to. I don't know what he's trying to do, because he's not going to get that ball in that challenge, in that tackle. And I think he made his mind up that that's what he was wanting to do, was take the player out. I might be wrong. You would have to ask him, but it looks horrible. It's just horrible.
As you guys say, he's very rash. Bobby Madden's just sitting up above us here. He's saying 100% a red card. We all agree. But just in terms of an explanation, he's saying out of control, excessive force, contact above the ankle, endangers safety. Making the contact with the ball does not permit that level of force. It was an absolute shocker of a challenge. One thing, Neil, just what you talked to us about is, because you guys get it, been down on the park, what is it like? What sort of mentalities does it take for a player like Tony Cruz to take the ball in these tight positions? I mean, it's incredible to watch.
Yeah, he's a supremely talented player, and what he's doing is clever because he's dictating the play from a fullback position at times as well. So the fullbacks step up, as I said, to try and dominate the wide areas because Musiala and Wirtz is coming inside. So when the fullbacks step out there, the two centre-backs are splitting. But Tony Kroos is just coming out because he knows that Scotland are funneling back through the midfield. So once he gets it, he's then dictating the play. But he's got so much composure. I have to say that the whole midfield, Andrik in the middle of the pitch as well, he's physical. He's physical, he's an enforcer. He's an enforcer. Yeah. But I tell you, he's good on the ball as well. And he can take it in tight areas. So out of those two, they're giving our midfield an absolute doing in terms of how to control the ball. And it's really, because I was listening in and out to the guys because I took my headphones off because I wanted to listen to the atmosphere as well. But in and out, I put my headphones on. We've been so sloppy, Kenny, in possession.
Terrible in possession of the ball, Neil.
And actually, we're rushed. Germany are forcing us. They're forcing us, and we actually look as if we've had no composure tonight. The German manager praised us to say that there's a lot of components of our game is working, and one of those components is that we've got good players who can handle the ball. When you lose a Billy Gilmore out of the team in favour of a Ryan Christie because you're looking for attacking threat, if you're not getting the attacking threat from Ryan Christie, then that's when you miss a Billy Gilmore, because when we do get on the ball, he's brave. He'll play little passes and he'll go and take it. And I think tonight that's really let us down. It's not allowed us to get into a forward area because we've been harried under when we're in possession. We've made rush decisions and we've lacked total composure.
And then we're going long at points. Sorry, Willie, on you go.
No, should we not be identifying, where the real threat's coming from? And I know the threats are the two wide players in particular, but Gundogan and Kroos are basically they're basically controlling the game, one deep and one just coming off our defence with no one picking them up. There's no one getting close to any of them.
But Willie, when Gundogan sits in behind the midfield, you've got three centre-backs against Havertz. Now, Havertz's movements is excellent. The two wide players are coming short and spinning. I'm okay with that. But when Gundogan sits behind the midfield, one of your outside centre-backs have got to say, I'm stepping on. Or in the middle man, I'm stepping in. And then you just narrow up. That's basic, because then it allows your two midfielders, central ones, to actually go and engage. But they're not doing that. They're just sitting in place. And Gundogan is... Willie, honestly, a user centre-back, surely you've got to say, I'm getting in there.
I wouldn't be getting in there, but somebody would have been getting in there because I would have been telling them to go in there.
Do you guys think, and this may sound ludicrous given the level that a lot of our players play at, the occasion has perhaps got to some of our guys tonight?
No, I don't think so. I think Germany started the game very, very well. You could see it right from the off. A couple of balls over the top. They were being really aggressive. And our shape and our game plan was to sit in and try and frustrate. That goes, as soon as Germany scored the first goal, that's kind of gone. And we didn't know how to react. We didn't know how to change it on the pitch. Now down to 10 men, we certainly don't know how we're going to change that. I mean, now for me it's damage limitation, it's damage control now.
It could be anything now, couldn't it? Really?
Right, it's up to Germany how they go about the second half, and I'm just looking at Pascal Gross certainly going through the motions. Quite an intensive warm-up, which probably leads you to believe that Gundogan won't come back out for the second half. No, absolutely not. But I think Scotland, they need to look at making a couple of changes. And Neil, you've alluded to it, I mentioned it in commentary about Billy Gilmore. When you lose him in there, I don't think Scotland, the transitional moments, fine, you can get caught up in the moment and everybody can lack quality when it's pinball in there and you've got a split second to make a decision. I don't know how many occasions it's went back to Angus Gunn, and I've looked at Anthony Ralston turning his back on the ball. Doesn't he want to build? And the occasions that Ryan Porteous was brave enough to take it, the combination play between Porteous and Ralston wasn't good enough to get out of bother in that right full back area. And when you take the ball as deep as that, you're just inviting Germany to come and lock on and press you and win it back in a dangerous area. So that for me, McTominay and McGregor weren't doing enough either centrally to get on it and relieve that pressure. I think Billy Gilmour's the only one in that Scotland team that will go tonight and still take the ball like a Tony Kroos will do for Germany. I
think we were all delighted when we saw Scott McTominay on the pitch. I don't think he's right, you know.
But not in the position that he's in tonight. He's so ineffective.
And I'm not sure 100%. I think Grant Hanley comes on, they go to a back four. But I think that Billy Gilmour is certainly a player that we're missing. And that's because I didn't pick him in my starting 11.
No,
but there's a reason for that, because I thought Christie would allow us to get up at the pitch closer to Shea Adams, but he's had zero opportunity. In fact, he's had one or two where he's got up and he's won a header and ended up trying to flick it on it himself. So yeah, I agree with you, and I think they'll make changes here. He has to.
And you're right, McTominay, he just doesn't look match sharp, if you like a couple of moments.
Nobody does though.
No, I
know
what
I mean? I mean, you look at the players, they're all a yard off it.
You look at McTominay's strengths though, you know, and what we've seen through the qualifiers and the type of player he is, he doesn't look like he knows how to influence the game either, which every player out there just looks as if it's been a disaster. Look, from start to finish in terms of that first half, it has been an absolute disaster.
We've had very little engagement, haven't we? You know, from anybody, whether it be the back three, back five, or the midfield, in terms of closing the ball down and actually making it difficult for Germany to pass the ball. And the other thing I would say is it's a masterclass from the Germans. Sometimes you've just got to say they are wonderful players. That's a magnificent team, and for all the talk beforehand, could they handle the pressure? They've been outstanding. We have been way off it. Absolutely agree with that, but they have been magnificent.
They have. I've been writing down pace, energy, class, movement. They're an absolute joy to watch. A lot of listeners getting in touch with us before kick-off tonight, enjoying the coverage, a sense of occasion. Jim Newlands was one of them. I think Jim was buzzing for this game. He's just messaged to say, oh my goodness guys, where do we even start with that 45? Men against boys, start to finish. Well, Jim, I think it's going to be a whole lot tougher in the second half. We're seeing Andy Robertson leading the players out there, Stephen. What on earth can he say to them?
Hanley's on.
Hanley's coming on. What on earth, as a captain, can you do in that park to affect change here?
There's nothing you can do now. The game is gone. The game is gone. We're down to 10 men, and as I said previously, I think it's about damage limitation, and just trying to make sure you get out this second half with a clean sheet and lose the game only 3-0.
Can he utter these words to his teammates? Damage limitation. As a player, you can do that.
Down to 10 men.
Yeah.
I think it's the only option at this stage.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the team. Is he taking Shea Adams off and put Ryan Christie up top? No.
Yeah, that's what's happened. That's what's happened. Right, guys, let's get back to our commentary team. Let's hear more from Leanne, from Stephen, and from our match commentator, Liam McLeod.
Well, the three-point route to the last 16 has almost been extinguished, and it certainly will be if there are more goals going to rain in on Scotland in the second half. Grant Hanley on for Shea Adams, so Christie's going to lead the line. And as
it's not Ilkay,
I was just going to say,
it's come off Liam, actually. It's Andrich,
who was booked in the first half. So Andrich off. Pascal Gross of Brighton and Hove Albion, he's a club mate of Billy Gilmour's, comes on as the second half gets underway. Scotland do so right to left in the navy blue, Germany in there mostly white but with the red and black as well, as that goes out to play for a throw-in on the near side of a German, and Scotland have a throw-in up the pitch level with the edge of the D of the Germany penalty area. Scotland attacking the end where the Scotland fans are mostly housed as they pick up a free kick. Christie's been brought clattering to the ground unceremoniously by Antonio Rudiger, and that will be a Scotland chance early in the second half to try and get something back here. Grant Hanley incidentally on for cap number 51. Gross is on for his 8th for Germany, because the Germans actually having to do some work defensively here at the start of the second half.
Well, it's a really good position for us.
McTominay put it into the net against Spain from a similar
position. Very similar. I'd imagine he'll go for something similar, flash that straight across the goalkeeper's face, try and get a touch on it.
I'm trying to give the Scotland fans something, anything to cheer. It is McTominay eyeing this one up. Right-footed from McTominay into the 6-yard box it comes. It bounces off a German and then away to safety out in this near side from Mittelstadt. And it's going to be a Scotland throw-in about level with the edge of the centre circle on the left.
It's another wasted opportunity, to be fair. It actually looked as if it came off John McGinn as it arrived inside the penalty area.
I thought he put more height in that, would have been the better idea. As Tierney bowls it forward, the header away by Rudiger. Breaks into the midfield for Kai Havertz, who got the third from the penalty spot. McTominay has it, goes down. Scotland free kick midway inside the German half. Slightly left to centre. And Scotland are playing, so far, we're 2 minutes into the second half, playing it in the German half. Yeah.
Taking it quickly, Liam.
Tierney, left-hand side of the box, goes down the left-hand side of the byline early. Ball comes across, almost broke to McGregor. And that's brilliant footwork from Musiala to take the pressure off his defence, running away out of the penalty area. Forward it comes, Wirtz is brought down by Ralston. Yellow cards coming out. Cynical, professional foul from Anthony Ralston. And Germany have a free kick inside the centre circle in the Scotland half. They lead 3-0.
It was a lightning counter, and it's Musiala again. His footwork is absolutely incredible. Then it goes into Wirtz. He's getting away from Ralston. It was virtually a 2v2 situation on the counter. And it's actually a good foul from Tony Ralston. I know he's got a yellow, but it's the right option.
And Musiala was actually brought up in England. He was part of the England youth setup. He was born in Stuttgart. Eventually made the breakthrough early on, actually. This is his third major tournament. He's only 21. Scored the second. Here is Rudiger, who rolls it into the centre circle for Ta. And now we're back to what we were watching for most of the first half. Everyone bar Manuel Neuer in the Scotland half. And Scotland will have to hold their line here. They've got that back five in front of Gunn. Robertson, Tierney, Hanley, Hendry and Ralston. McTominay, McGinn and McGregor in the middle, and then Christie, who's going to be ploughing the most lonely of furrows in this second half. It's back here with Tony Kroos, left of the centre circle. The big switch, high ball out to the near side, controlled by Joshua Kimmich. He goes back down the line for Rudiger, and now it's with Kroos. Faced by Christie, plays it short to Tony Kroos. Will then switch the play out to Kimmich on this near side. Ball towards Gundogan, cut out by Tierney. Here comes John McGinn. Forward towards Christie, and he's had it pinched off him by Kroos, who does well. And now it's Tony Kroos, so the Germans with Pascal Gross and Tony Kroos in the midfield. It's going to be a challenge in the second half. You'd imagine they're both going to see lots of the ball as well, helpfully. And it's Tony Kroos here. It's the end of that glittering career at Real Madrid. Out to the left-hand side, it's with Mittelstadt. Turns it back the way to Ta. Kroos again. His ball forwards cut out by McGinn. And then McGregor to John McGinn, who goes down, looks at the referee for a free kick. The referee says, get on with it. No complaints as Musiala picks up on this near side. Low ball in field to Kimmich. Short to Havertz. Kimmich to Tony Kroos.
It's just a training session for Germany now.
Yeah.
It really is. Keep ball.
When you see Kroos playing the way he is, you kind of wonder why he's chucking it.
I know. Go out
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, if he wins the European Championship, you can't do much better than that, having won the Champions League. At club level, there's Rudiger winding up another long ranger, and Gunn wasn't convincing there. He decides to dive and put it behind. It wasn't the most powerful of strikes from Rudiger, but it's drawn a corner, the first German one of the second half. They lead 3-0.
It's a decent enough strike. It kind of dips just before Angus Gunn, and he actually does the right thing and turning it round for a corner. It's a kind of awkward one for him to get to.
And it bounces just before him, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To be fair. Clock just about to tick on to 51. The German corner from the left-hand side. Close with it. Bends it in towards the back post. Nobody in German colours, though Wirtz has kept it in on this near side. That's Kimmich who's done that. Brilliant from him. Didn't look likely. Kept it in the corner flag. Finds Gundogan and then knocked into the box. It bobbles around. It was Mittelstadt's cross. Picked up by Andy Robertson, who goes down. Claims he was fouled by Kroos. He too. In fact, he has got the decision this time, where John McGinn didn't. Tony Kroos with a rueful shake of the head.
Yeah, there's not much in that. We've done well to get a free kick out of that, I tell you.
It's the stadium just catching up on the subs just now. And the image of Grant Hanley there, walking towards the camera with the most broad smile you've ever seen. I'm not sure that would have been his reaction. Always proud to represent your country, but most trying of circumstances here. Musiala finds Gundogan. Here goes Wirtz, left of the D. Gets away from McTominay, finds Gundogan. Little dink ball, gets it wrong. When he goes behind for the goal kick, he apologises to his teammates, but I think all the Germans inside the Allianz will forgive him for that.
Well, he's allowed one bad pass, hasn't he? I mean, he's probably like at 99% pass completion so far in the game. He's just getting that one wrong.
And it's just a chance, isn't it, for Scotland to try and eat into the time, which is their best hope, I think, as the night goes on. There's nothing worse when your back's to the wall as it is.
Awful,
a player
yeah.
down. Just in the moment, so Tom as well, when we've won the ball back, when you look up and there's nobody up the pitch.
No, there's nothing.
It's a lonely place to be, because you know the reality is you're just going to give Germany the ball back.
100%.
Long ball forward by Gunn out to the far side, flicked forward towards Christie. Tah gets there first and finds Rudiger. We'll turn it out to Kimmich on this near side. Fabulous footballer as well. Joshua Kimmich. Here come Germany down that left-hand side as it's switched out. Toni Kroos just dinking it back to Pascal Gross, who gets it from Rudiger. Gross up towards the halfway line, finds Musiala, back to Rudiger. Here is Gross, back to Neuer at the edge of his box. It's a very clean goalkeeping kit that Manuel Neuer is wearing tonight. And that's picked up there by Wirtz, knocks it back the way into the midfield. Gross with a big switch, looking for Kimmich, cut out by Robertson though. Finds McGinn. And Christie had gone into a little bit of space there. McGinn has checked it. Yeah, he's checked it. Now he's back facing his own goal, but he's found Tierney on this near side. There's not going to be too many opportunities to get Ryan Christie away. That looked to be one of them.
Yeah, he should have played it diagonally. Looked at it as well and then just decided at the last second not to do it.
And it's Ralston winning the throw-in of Mittelstadt over on that far side. It's a fine player, Mittelstadt, but that has been the one real bone of contention for Julian Nagelsmann since he took over, trying to fill that berth. He's tried different concoctions. Even had Kai Havertz in there at one point in a friendly last autumn, which seems ridiculous when you see the attacking threat that Havertz has as the main man. Not always the main man through the middle. Of course, scored the winning goal in the Champions League final for Chelsea against Manchester City. And Porto, that goes out of play for a throw-in over on the far side.
There's a wee edge come off of Germany's play, and it's because they are 3-0 up and they're finding it so easy.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it, for Scotland?
That is good. They're not kind of got the same energy that they showed in the first half. They don't need to, I suppose.
No, but you know, when it gets to the 60-minute mark and the flurry of changes coming, the players that come off the bench, it probably injects that back into it, so Scotland need to enjoy it while it lasts just now.
Kieran Tierney has it on the near side. Under pressure though from Musiala, gets it forward towards Christie. Tah gets there first, and he was being fouled by Ryan Christie as well. He was barking at somebody, assuming it's the fourth official. And it's going to be a free kick to the Germans, just a bit level with the edge of the centre circle inside their own half, and it's taken short along the grass there to Toni Kroos. And then Wirtz finds Pascal Gross, and then to Wirtz down the left. The overlap here, Mittelstadt. His cross is blocked by Ralston, but it was behind for the corner to Germany. We played almost 56. It's 3-0 to the hosts against the 10 men. This is a real toil for those Scotland players right now. Try and get out of Munich with minimal damage, but it's been played back to the edge of the box for Pascal Gross, whose effort is blocked. Cleared by McGregor.
Great block from Jack Henry, to be fair.
Yeah. Kroos down the left-hand side for Wirtz. Level with the penalty spot. Steve Clark's having words with the fourth official down below us. It's back with Toni Kroos, switches it out to Kimmich on this near side. Right of the D. fancies a shot here, and his efforts blocked by Hanley. Headed away by Callum McGregor. He's the only man to score for Scotland at a major tournament since Craig Burley. He did so in Bordeaux in '98. The only man in a European Championship since Ali McCoist. He scored against Switzerland in Birmingham in '96. Germany working the passes out to the left-hand side. It's with Musiala taking on Ralston, burning away from him. Ralston slides in, committed himself. Musiala has it, knocks it back, Mittelstadt, and it comes and over the bar from Florian Wirtz at the right angle of the 6-yard area. He goes high into the stand behind Angus Gunn's goal, and it stays Germany 3, 10-man Scotland 0.
That's just panic stations, isn't it? When the ball comes into the box now from Scotland, it's a good chance, you would need to say. He needs to get it on target, yeah.
It was brilliant play again, though, from Musiala. The guy's got everything. I mean, so impressed with him this evening.
He's got so much variation in his play, though. But you can understand why Ralston's diving in, because at times he will play it first time, but then he chops back inside. His footwork is so good.
The expectation level from the Scotland fans, I think it was raised. I think they were optimistic coming into this match, not just the tournament. You've got to be realistic. You're going up against Champions League winners, players who have just had an invincible season with Bayer Leverkusen. Stuttgart have had a wonderful campaign. Bayern Munich still have such massive quality, and they're going up against Ralston, who's barely got a kick at Celtic this season. Porteous finished 15th in the English Championship with Watford. Grant Hanley, who's come on in the second half, has barely played for Norwich, again in the second tier in England. Angus Gunn, the goalkeeper, second tier in England. They're going up against players who are operating at the very top level. Here's Jonathan Tah rolling it to Pascal Gross down the left-hand side. Musiala taking on Ralston. Gets down towards the byline again. Across it comes. It's blocked by Gunn's foot. Gundogan shoots. It's blocked too. They're flickering back into life here, the host nation. They still lead 3-0. Knocking on the door for a fourth now all of a sudden.
That man Musiala again down the left-hand side. A wonderful ball in.
There's another chance to cross, and it's Mittelstadt headed away by Hendry. And now it's with John McGinn on this near side. Jack Henry was playing in Saudi Arabia just now, which I think it's fair to say is an attractive league for perhaps world-class operators who are beyond their peak years. Here's Rudiger for Germany, and out to Kimmich, level with the penalty spot, faced by Robertson, rolls it back to Gundogan. The captain in field to Rudiger, forward to Musiala, back to Rudiger, low ball, wide right, it's Kimmich up against Robertson, level with the penalty spot, and then back to Rudiger, field for Pascal Gross. It's just a little bit like a cat playing with a ball of wool at the moment. And it's Kimmich with the cross ball, flicked half away by Tierney, picked up by Mittelstadt. He tries to shoot, blocked by Ralston. Mittelstadt rolling it back the way to Gross, who finds Kroos, and now it's with Wirtz, who shoots from distance. It's high and wide, and it stays Germany 3, Scotland 0. We're banging the hour now, but the Germans have upped the ante again in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, started to create opportunities again. The feeling a goal was not too far away. The problem is, it's obviously exacerbated by the fact we're down to 10 men. When we get the ball, a hold of the ball, we cannot keep it. We were bad at it with 11 in the first half, but we are, in this second half, it's just waves of attack for Germany.
That's a catch-22. Even looking at John McGinn a couple of moments ago, he wins the ball back, then he looks to try and take touches now and dribble into an area, whereas previously he's maybe played it first time and looked to try and go long. You then start to second guess your own decision making, what is best, but the reality is whatever happens, whatever you do, Germany are ending up with the ball back just now, because the system that Steve Flatch chose to keep in terms of the back five and the four across the middle of the pitch, you don't have a natural out.
Long ball, Wirtz and Havertz chasing it, but Gunn gets there. Just between the two of them, the goalkeeper did well to read the danger and to deal with the situation as it presented itself in front of him.
Brilliant movement it was from Havertz. He was an inch away from that being a perfect pass, and he'd have been one-on-one with Gunn.
Here's another example of the strength and depth of this German squad, and that they're going to bring on Nicholas Füllkrug, who started the Champions League final a couple of weekends ago at Wembley.
Not a bad sub to bring on.
Borussia Dortmund, main man, and a lot of the Germany supporters were wanting him to start up front. Havertz is an imposing presence himself, but perhaps not your bona fide number 9, as the yellow card comes out for Jonathan Tah for a foul on Christie, just the left of the centre circle, and they're going to bring on Leroy Sané again, and another top-class operator. Bayern Munich nowadays, of course. He was at Manchester City for a number of years. Tah's booking is confirmed. Havertz will be replaced by Füllkrug. He's a big man, isn't he?
Yeah. More traditional type. Big number 9 striker.
It's a good reception that Kai Havertz is getting. And Füllkrug, 16 goals in 46 appearances for Borussia Dortmund this season, including 3 of them in the Champions League. As I say, he started that final defeat to Real Madrid. And he was actually a bit of a nuisance to the Spaniards. Sané comes on for Wirtz, and
it's a great position for the Germany manager to be in, to be able to take 2 of his key players off and rest them, because the game is obviously coming thick and fast, and we're not in a position to have that luxury, unfortunately.
And Füllkrug comes on. Yeah, the Germans play Hungary in Stuttgart on Wednesday before Scotland play Switzerland in Cologne, and here come the Germans. The Scots be caught in the hop here. Kimmich finds Sané, it's his first touch, left foot effort, saved comfortably by Gunn. Füllkrug was waiting for it just behind the goalkeeper, and it's now Germany 3, Scotland 0, with the 10 men still trying to ensure that the scoreline doesn't get worse. And interesting exchange of words down there, Leanne, between Steve Clarke and Austin McPhee.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it just comes through. It was Scotland's set piece, and they lose the ball goes to Andy Robertson, and the turnover, and Steve Clarke's not happy, I don't think, with the information that Austin McPhee was putting on. It's been a common theme every time there's been a corner, a free kick, whatever it might be, for or against. Austin McPhee's out there, he's the one giving the instructions, but Steve Clarke is not happy.
Callum McGregor takes the free kick and rolls it back to Tierney. Tierney out to Robertson, and back to Tierney, forward to Christie. Christie can't control though, it comes back onto the chest of Gundogan, and now it's with Toni Kroos. Plays it forward there to Musiala, back to Kroos, and then out to the left hand side for Mittelstadt. 64 played. Scotland down to 10 men thanks to Ryan Porteous' direct red card at the end of the first half, giving away the penalty, which was duly dispatched by Kai Havertz. And that made it 3. That's where it stayed for now. Musiala has it though, back to Kroos, out to the left, Mittelstadt takes a touch, crosses in to the penalty area. Tierney takes no chances and heads it behind for a corner. This is one of the toughest watches for the Scotland supporters that they will remember.
Yeah, it's gone from bad to worse this evening. I mean, the only bonus is, as I said, at this point in time in the second half, Germany haven't scored. We've remained at 3-0. Could have been a lot worse, but yeah, creating opportunities, he would bet against them getting another goal.
Having to defend this latest Germany corner, and Rudiger and McGinn have had a collision inside the box. This is another area, by the way, where the referees are going to be clamping down. They're going to take no nonsense when it comes to players grappling in the box. You could quite easily give away a penalty in this kind of situation. And here comes the corner from Kroos, outswinger with the right foot, headed away by Hendry. Breaks to the edge of the box for Mittelstadt, who catches it, slices it on the volley towards goal. It's high over the bar, and it stays Germany 3, 10-man Scotland 0, 65.5 on the clock. Billy Gilmore and Kenny McLean are going to be on shortly.
Yeah, you'd imagine McTominay will be coming off. He's not managed to have an impact in the game at all, really.
He's been a ghost tonight, hasn't he?
Yep, he really has.
You just need fresh legs in there as well, regardless of who it is. Yeah, that's a thankless task, especially now. There's enough time in the clock that the Germans could at least go and score another 2-3 goals if they want it.
Well, of course, in situations like this, when you see a team 3-0 down at half-time, you've got to look at the records, the facts, and the 5-goal deficit, which has been the biggest margin of victory / defeat for teams in the European Championship. 4 5-0s and a 6-1. We saw one of those 5-0s at the last European Championship when Spain beat Slovakia 5-0. Here come the changes. Callum McGregor coming off. Kenny McLean will replace him. And Gilmore.
That's John.
Yeah, John McGinn. He's going to be replaced by Billy Gilmore. Those other ones, Sweden 5, Bulgaria 0 in Lisbon in 2004. The Dutch beat the Yugoslavian side in 2006-1. And Denmark beat the Yugoslavs 5-0 in 84, as did France against the Belgians in that tournament. 3-0 is a decent result for Steve Clarke at this point. Free kick which McTominay will take over on the far side. Right-footed, bends it high into the box. Henry tries to ghost in at the back post. Rudiger's there. And it's gone out of play for a throw into Germany down with the corner flag on this near side. The hosts 3-0 up.
I actually don't think it looked like the worst delivery. I thought Henry could have done slightly better just in the way that he went to attack the ball. I don't know if he thought he wasn't favourite to get there, but it was decent from McTominay.
Sports Sound here at BBC Radio Scotland, on sounds, on digital, online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. Here come Germany, slip through to the edge of the penalty area, rifled home! What a goal from Füllkrug! Well, he's taken his chance as he smashes it high into the top right corner. And Scotland's night just got a little bit worse. Borussia Dortmund's Füllkrug with the most decisive of finishes, and it is Germany 4, 10-man Scotland 0.
It's an incredible hit, it really is. He gets so much power on it, right into the top corner, just on the pitch as well. But the pass, I think it was from Musiala, for the run of Sani was unbelievable. The ball breaks out to Füllkrug, probably about 18 yards out. That is as sweet as a strike as you'll see.
His first touch, but the time between his first touch and his second is lightning quick though. But it sets up perfectly where you just catch the ball sweet as a nut, bang centre, and it flies into the back of the net. But the reality is that turnover in play comes from a Scotland free kick in possession that we give away, that we lose, and all of a sudden it just becomes that attack to defence where we've had zero success the entire night.
That shot, incidentally, was clocked at 111 kilometres per hour.
Really?
That's what they just said. So there you go, Füllkrug. He lashed that one home. His international goal-scoring record is frightening. He's got 12 in 17 caps.
Yeah, it's not bad going.
That was his 12th.
It just shows you the options and the strength and depth in the Germany squad, the players that they're able to bring on so far in this game.
And now Scotland are on the cusp of being potential record breakers for all the wrong reasons. And those defeats are listed, which have gone down in the annals of most humiliating losses in this tournament's history. Scotland are not too far off that now. Another 2 Germany goals, and that's the record, I'm afraid. And here they come again with Leroy Sané down the right-hand side, up against Robertson. On to the left, rolls it to Kimmich, out to Sané. Sané looking for Gundogan, and then it goes behind for a goal kick. Tierney sees it behind. Germany 4, the 10 men 0, the final 20 upon us. And from a Scotland point of view, this match cannot end quickly enough.
Yeah, 100%, Liam. I mean, it's gone from bad to worse as the night's gone on, and so, before the game, speaking to the Scotland supporters out about in the street, there was so much hope and optimism coming in, but we have been taught a lesson tonight here.
We have, but you know, I always think, you know, in these games you're on a knife edge where you can have that optimism, and you know, if Scotland perform and every player's a 9 out of 10 on the night and the Germans don't turn up, they don't perform at the levels that they're capable of, that's when you can get that result that we felt tonight we possibly could have got. But also, you know, if Scotland don't show up, which virtually every player for me tonight has not performed anywhere near the level that they're capable of, and Germany have been bang at it, and the strength and depth that they've got in the squad and the team tonight is frightening, and every player has impacted the game, you will be in the receiving end of a result like this. That's the reality. That is tournament football for you as well, because it's the best of the best.
And what else is a reality is it's going to be 1 win in 10, and that victory was against one of the worst footballing sides on the planet in Gibraltar, and even then they toiled.
Yeah, I mean, people were trying to play down the fact that there was a lot of friendlies against good teams. I spoke about coming into the tournament with momentum, and it's something that we didn't have. And you're right, 1 win in 10 now is pretty disappointing. You can't shape it up any other way.
And as if things couldn't get worse, Thomas Muller's coming on. It's only one of the best forwards we've seen in European football over the last decade and more. Another World Cup winner. There's Tony Kroos out to this near side for Kimmich. Finds Sané up against Robertson, down with the corner flag this time. Robertson stands up to him, wins it back, and then to Tierney. Going to be some amount of pressure on Scotland going into that Switzerland game on Wednesday. They make the journey to Cologne. They're going to have to dust themselves down pretty quickly and go back to their base here in Bavaria as Kimmich crosses in, headed behind for the corner by Hanley. And Germany just keep on coming. And Müller is going to come on for Musiala. Mercifully, Musiala coming off, but
the reception,
standing ovation.
No wonder, the guy's been absolutely outstanding tonight.
But you know what? The European Championship, the World Cup, there's always one player that lights it up, and is Jamal Musiala going to be the man for this one? He certainly made an impression tonight. He scored the second of the 4, and he's replaced by the legendary Thomas Müller, who scored 4 against Scotland in Euro 2016 qualifying. 2 in each game. Short corner back to Kimmich. He gets it back from Pascal Gross. Comes back to Gross here. It's a delicate ball with the right foot to the left-hand side of the box. Ta plays it back across. Flag's gone up on this near side. It's Germany 4, 10-man Scotland 0. I tell you what, there's going to be some post-mortem to be done on this one. And after the game, we're going to take stock. And myself, Leanne and Neil are going to be recording the Daily Football podcast for tomorrow. And that's just going to be the start of it. There's going to be days of this now, recriminations and where did it all go wrong? Because actually, even if Porteous is still on the pitch or they're playing with 11, there's still a chance it's 4-0.
It might not have made much difference to them, to be honest, and that's probably what we've seen in years gone by as well. You think back to tournament football and high-profile players that have seen red cards and their nation vilifies them. For me, tonight's that's not a night that will happen for me. Ryan Porteous got that wrong, and it was a really poor decision. But the reality is, Scotland, this game was way out of their touch, way out of reach, sorry. They were never getting back into it because the quality that Germany have shown and the lack of quality that Scotland have shown in possession and just the finer details of the game, they've got it so wrong tonight.
You don't mind getting battered in games like this against the big sides. Well, you do mind it, but you know you can accept it if you've competed, like when they did in Amsterdam in that friendly.
We've not landed a single punch.
There's been nothing to hang on to tonight at all.
With 11 men, we didn't look like creating anything. It's been sparse in terms of the time that we've spent in Germany's final third, even with 11 men, and that for me is going to be the biggest disappointment.
Thomas Müller with a cross for Germany. Füllkrug takes a touch at the chest. Gunn makes the save, but it's gone over his head, and Füllkrug scores again. And Scotland are staring down the barrel right now of a record-equalling European Championship defeat. And what was supposed to be one of the biggest, brightest, best nights in Scottish football's modern history is turning into a horror story, a battering in Bavaria. It is Germany 5, Scotland 0.
They're checking for a potential offside in the build-up, Liam. The VAR
might be, actually. Yeah. He might be offside. I think his right arm's offside.
He's going to be offside. It certainly looks like it in the pictures that.
Yeah, no goal.
Yeah,
no goal. So Füllkrug, he's just found that out. The music's just stopped. The goal doesn't count, and Scotland get away with that one.
It was quite a fortuitous goal anyway, but the way it bounces up and over.
Yeah.
Angus Gunn's head after a kind of almost deflection off of Hanley.
A positive though, how quick was that VAR check?
Aye.
How many, even with those ones, the offside ones, where you look at it and the lines are going on it?
Scott McKenna's coming on for Kieran Tierney by the looks of it. But yeah, That was very close to being the record equalling scoreline, which they'll be now so desperate to avoid. Off comes Tierney, on comes McKenna. We don't know what his future holds. Out of contract at Nottingham Forest. And it's a kind of thankless task as he trots on for cap number 36. And it will be a free kick here for Angus Gunn to take inside his own box. It's the way the game's going right now, though. You kind of feel that they've just delayed the inevitable when it comes to another Germany goal here.
There's going to be more chances. You can bet on that.
13 to the full-time whistle at least the end of the 90.
You can feel for the Tartan Army just watching the game.
Well, there's lots of them have left. I mean, there's loads of them still here, but you can see the empty red seats up in the middle tier there.
But I think at the point you start seeing McGinn leaving the pitch, McGregor leaving the pitch, Kieran Tierney's coming off the pitch, which understandably Steve Clark is now looking at the next game in terms of preserving those players, these key players, looking after them. The game's well and truly gone, but as a fan to watch it, you just know there's little hope of anything to cheer about between now and the full-time whistle. And
incidentally, there were people in our hotel who'd bought tickets for this game for almost £1,000.
It's crazy.
800-900 quid people were buying tickets for this game. They'll still be able to say they were here at the opening match of the tournament, but it's going to be the night of red faces here. It's going to be a free kick to Germany, a foul by McTominay over on the far side. There are 11.5 minutes to play. Pascal Gross playing it short. Tony Kroos forward to the edge of the box for Müller, who switched back out to this right-hand side for Kimmich. Short little ball in field. Gross has it and Kimmich has it again. Back to the Brighton midfielder, Gross, he switches it out to left, Mittelstadt with a header, Müller with a header towards goal, and Robertson turns it behind. He knew Yzoa Kimmich was behind him, and that's going to be another German corner.
I'm surprised Müller didn't go for goal himself here. Maybe he was, he just gets the header all wrong, but it was a weird header, poor header from him.
He, like Neuer, like Kroos, just such decorated footballers. Lawrence Shankland's coming on next for Scotland as Kroos takes the corner, headed away on the 6-yard line, breaks the Mittelstadt, can't resist the shot, and like his previous one, it was high over the bar, and it stays Germany 4, 10-man Scotland 0, and Shankland will come on. The Germans are going to make a change first, though. Tony Kroos is being withdrawn, an absolute class act, and he too will get a wonderful reception as he looks to go out into retirement with the highest of highs, having just won his 5th Champions League. It has gone down as a 6th Champions League, but he was injured for the 2013 final when Bayern Munich beat Dortmund. And speaking of Dortmund, Emre Can comes on, wasn't even in the original squad, which just again underlines the quality that's sitting at home. And Mats Hummels was mingling in Marienplatz yesterday by all accounts. I didn't see it myself, but he's nowhere near it, which is incredible. And there's others as well. Gnabry's another, and the likes of Werner. You know, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, they've got some squad, and you're right, there's been some top players left out, raised a few eyebrows as Germany counter here again. Yeah,
Müller down the left-hand side. He's got Sané in the middle. Gundogan's made his way there too. Gundogan, no, it's just behind him. And it goes behind for the goal kick. But in the final 10 of the 90, Germany 4, Scotland 0, and now Lawrence Shankland will replace Ryan Christie.
He's not noticed.
It's his 50th cap tonight. His 50th cap. Both he and McTominay joining the Hall of Fame this evening.
Oh, it's a lovely moment for him to get his 50th cap, but he'll be wanting to forget this game, I can guarantee you that.
On comes Shankland. And this game was 2-0, going on 3 before the red card. So it had already gotten away from Scotland by that point. Shankland comes on and he'll get the final 10 minutes or so. It's the 9 minutes plus stoppages. And it's going to be a goal kick here for Angus Gunn to take. And the only real positive Scotland can take right now is that Germany have only scored once since the restart. Here comes Robertson down this near side, infield towards McLean. Good footwork from Kenny McLean there, and he's done well to work it out to Ralston on that right-hand side. Gets the early ball in, looking for Shankland. Tah gets a touch onto it though. And Germany able to clear through Muller. It gets there ahead of Gilmore. Now it's Emre Can. Left-footed ball out to Sané on this near side. And of course Scotland had committed players forward to a counter. Sané's in the box, looking for a sight of goal here. Still he has it. McKenna's done well to try and bustle him away from the danger area, and it breaks to Robertson, who clears with the left foot down this near side.
It's 2 decent chances Sané's had in that running the right-hand side. He's made a mess of them both, Leon.
Aye, thankfully he's been really poor. His decision-making, he's tied himself in knots with his footwork. But it just shows you how quickly, even looking at Kimmich and the support play that he's offering, he was 50 yards behind the ball and he was bursting a gut to get right up behind the plate.
12th cap there for Lawrence Shankland. I'm not sure he's going to see much of the ball though in the little time that's left. Here's Kimmich. Sané back to Kimmich on this near side. Sané looks up, shoots at goal. It's right down the throat of Gunn this time as he holds on, and Steve Clarke turns away from that attacking moment and patrols his technical area. He's going to be asked some difficult questions, I would imagine, afterwards. Has it just been a case of stage fright at the start of the game, or is it just this is too powerful a German team for Scotland to be able to live with? They just can't live with the top tier teams. It's as simple as that. We've seen that over the course of the last 10 months.
What's going to be important is the reaction. They've got to get this out of their head as quickly as they can. Hard to do, hard for them to swallow tonight, but the next game now becomes absolutely huge against Switzerland. Massive for us. I just wonder how mentally destructive this game's been on the players.
77% passing accuracy for Scotland. Needs to be higher than that against these tier 1 opponents. Germany have it. Muller out to the left, Mittelstadt, 2 in the middle, Füllkrug's one of them, and the low ball comes in, cut out by McTominay. Ralston gets it clear, and now to play for a Germany throw in on the far side. 84 on the clock, 4-0 Germany. Just a reminder, we've got commentary of the game in Cologne tomorrow. That's Hungary against Switzerland in the other opening match of Group A. 2 o'clock kickoff. It's live on Saturday Sports Sound tomorrow. And the other games tomorrow: Spain, Croatia and Berlin, Italy, Albania and Dortmund, as Group B gets underway. Here comes Sané for Germany. Down he goes in the box. Robertson's challenge, appeals for a penalty. The referee disagrees. It's a goal kick, and it's still 4-0 Germany.
Yeah, it was just a bit of a tangle of legs, wasn't it? Sané trying to go in between Robertson and Kenny McLean. It was. I think there's much contact, is there?
Nothing there.
Nah.
Nothing for me. This is the stage in the game as well where every minute that ticks by feels like 10 minutes as a player on the pitch.
It's been a hard second half to do too.
It is horrible when you're out there, because you look at the big screen and you think it's 84, 85 minutes, and then you look at it again and it literally will feel like 10 minutes later and you're at 86.
Well, it's 85 at the moment as Sané comes forward and Muller's peeled off to his left. It's Sané all the way himself, and he shoots wildly wide. Looking for the top left corner. Füllkrug was to his right, Muller to his left. And thankfully for Scotland, he decided to go himself, and he was off target, and it remains at 4.
Yeah, it was a good run from him actually this time, but he's off balance when he hits it. Around about 19 yards out, way over the bar.
We will be back with you on Wednesday evening for the Switzerland game from Cologne. All Scotland's matches are kicking off 8 o'clock UK time. So it's Scotland against Switzerland. It's live here on BBC Radio Scotland with Sports Sound. It's also live on BBC One Scotland, which is the same for the Hungary match as well. Scotland's now crucial 2 group matches, both live on BBC television. Scotland have a free kick here, level with the edge of the circle inside the Germany half on this left-hand side. We're seeing close-ups of the Tartan Army up there. Not too many smiling now.
No.
I can only hope that the bars in Munich city centre have replenished their beer stock.
I would imagine they would have, but it'll not be much fun tonight. Not as much fun as they had last night.
Well, yeah, well, the optimism's gone, hasn't it? Then comes the free kick from Robertson into the penalty area. Oh, that's in! Scotland have scored! McKenna with a header. It bounces off Rudiger over Neuer. And now the Scotland fans finally have something to cheer. And who knows how crucial that goal might be in the shake-up when it comes to goal difference. It's Germany 4, 10-man Scotland 1. And it'll be a Rudiger own goal, I think.
Well, the way this night's going, Liam will take it, whatever it is. Just looking at it, don't think there's any issues in terms of offside or anything as the ball comes in. Definitely an own goal. But you're right, it brings the deficit down to 3, and who knows how important it could be as the second and the third game goes. The Tartan Army, they've got something to sing about. I genuinely thought there would be nothing checking for a potential offside, but we've looked at it in the pictures that have come in, Tom. I think it looks okay.
I thought he looked okay, yep. I do. It's a lucky goal, but we'll take it.
Aye, Rudiger knows nothing about it.
He doesn't know what's happening. It just comes off the side of his head and loops over Neuer.
Well, it's probably the longest wait for a VAR check we've had tonight here.
Something for the fans to take away from the game.
Well, not yet. Not yet. I'm just checking. Clement Turpin, his head bowed, listening. Antonio Rudiger's watching the replay on the big screen, but the goal is given. And Scotland have something back. It's not much, but it's something. With 88 on the clock, it's 4-1.
That is 4-1 in Germany's wait for a clean sheet in their last 3 major tournaments. They've not had one single clean sheet. And the night that it's been for them, so comfortable, they've dominated. You've mentioned the possession stats. That's where, as a German manager, you'll be so frustrated, and as the German players, the type of night that it's been for them, to concede a goal is so infuriating.
It's brought the fans back into voice.
It has. The atmosphere's built up again. And look, this German side is capable of battering Switzerland and Hungary as well, so that goal could actually be crucial. I think any more than 3, and you can forget going through with 3 points. I still think it's going to be a tall order for Scotland to qualify in 3 points with a 3-goal beating here, unless they can make it up somewhere else. Here's Kimmich though for Germany down the right-hand side. Gets the ball, switching it to the left-hand side of the box for Mittelstadt. Now it's with Pascal Gross, who scored the winner in the friendly against the Greeks a week ago. There's a big switch of play out to Leroy Sané on the right-hand side. The Scotland fans shouting, singing. You're not singing anymore at the Germans. It's good to still have that sense of humour. It's rolled back the way by Kimmich to Rudiger. Now Chan in the attacking third. Everyone apart from Manuel Neuer is in that defensive Scottish third right now. Out in the left with Müller. It's it back to Gross. To Mittelstadt, low ball in. Fulkrug tries to turn it towards goal. Comes off a Scotland defender, flags up anyway. We're in the 90th minute, well through that now. And hopefully there won't be too much in the way of stoppage time. It's Germany 4, Scotland 1.
Yeah, you never thought you'd say this before the game. I can't wait for the final whistle. Honestly, it's been so disappointing. At
the point that Ryan Porteous gets sent off, though, and Germany had the penalty kick, if you were giving me a 3-goal deficit, I would have taken it.
Well, it was a 3-goal deficit at half-time. The second half's 1-1.
Yeah.
Which is remarkable.
Yeah, I know. Germany have taken their foot off the gas a wee bit in this second half. Still managed to create quite a few chances right enough, but they aren't playing with the intensity that they did certainly in that first half an hour.
Well, although the games won't be as difficult, the next 2 will still be hugely challenging. Switzerland are a major tournament team, always seem to come through their group. Of course, that marvellous run at the World Cup last time out. It's the best Hungarian side in generations that they'll be going up against in the matches in Cologne and Stuttgart respectively over the course of the next 9 days. Neuer plays it short to Ta. To the left of the centre circle, Pascal Gross out to Mittelstadt on that left-hand side. And in the 3 minutes of stoppages, in fact, one of them's gone. There's Rudiger out to Sané, and then Kimmich level with the 18-yard line of Scotland. Low ball for Sané. He squares it for Gross. Plays it to the left of the box again. Here's Müller. Muller at the left angle of the area, back to Pascal Gross, gets the ball into the back post. Robertson flicks it away with Joshua Kimmich behind them. Kimmich retrieves it at the corner flag on this near side. Rolls it back to the right angle of the box for Emre Can, who finds Ta. And then Gross worked out to the left-hand side here. And Gross has it under pressure from McTominay. I'm pretty sure I could count on one hand
I've not heard
the
you
number
say
of
his
times
name.
I've mentioned Scott McTominay tonight.
I agree with that. I'm interested that he's been given the 90 minutes. I don't know whether
Get the minutes in the legs,
I think that's
presumably.
what Steve Clark's thinking, yeah.
And Sané. Think of the swashbuckling way that Scotland came through qualifying. They roared like a lion. This has been a display of timidity at times. And when you put timidity up against the power and prowess of the Germans, it's going to be a long night for you. As Mittelstadt picks up at the corner flag on the far side. Low ball into the box, it's laid back to Chan, takes a touch and shoots and scores! They've got the 4-goal lead back. Angus Gunn surely has to do better there, but Emre Can, who wasn't even meant to be in the squad for this tournament, has found the bottom right corner with one of the last kicks of the game. Scotland concede again, and a night they have been absolutely battered and bruised. It is Germany 5, 10-man Scotland 1. A humiliating start to this campaign with the eyes of the footballing world on them.
Well, I'm waiting to see this replay. I mean, it looks like a nice finish from Chan, but I think on first viewing, the goalkeeper has to do better here. It is in the bottom right corner. The ball comes to Chan. He's probably about 20 yards out. Curls it. Do you think
he needs to do it there, Tom.
So? Yeah.
He needs to. He's only putting it one place. When you look at the bodies in front of him, he's only ever going to use the defender as a guide to shape it.
Yeah.
He's right-footed, his touch is on his right. That ain't going anywhere else in that goal other than nestling in that bottom corner. You need to gamble, you need to go early, you need to move your feet.
He gets a fingertip to it, doesn't he?
Because he's...
Yeah, final whistle's gone. Scotland's big night has ended in a hellish defeat here in Bavaria. An embarrassing scoreline, an absolute toweling from a side that is hosting this tournament and will believe they can go on and lift the trophy in Berlin in a month's time. Scotland well beaten, 3 down at half-time. Fulkrug coming on in the second half, and Chan getting the 5th one, adding to those goals in the first half from Wirtz, from Musiala and from Havertz's penalty. Porteous was sent off for a shocking challenge on Gundogan. And fortunately, from a Scotland point of view, at least there were just 2 more goals went in the second half. But it's yet another game without a victory for the Scots. It was always going to be a long shot, but it's now just 1 win in 10 and loads more goals conceded as well. 5 tonight, 2 to Finland last week, 4 to the Dutch, 3 to Norway, 2 to Georgia, 4 to France, 2 to Spain, 3 to England. Scotland are in a rut. They are in a big hole here, and it's going to take some bounce back for them if they are to threaten tournament regular Switzerland in Cologne next Wednesday. A really bad night. Scott McKenna with a header which was nodded into his own net by Rudiger. Gave them a brief moment to cheer, but Chan's goal increased the gap back to 4, and it's the worst possible start to their Group A campaign for Steve Clarke's men. They need to recover quickly though, because whilst this has been a damaging and depressing defeat, they've still got it in their hands to come through a group for the first time of asking when they go to take on Switzerland and Hungary. We shall see. For tonight it finished in the Allianz Arena, one of the biggest nights of all. Germany 5, 10-man Scotland 1.
UEFA Euro